Krista Mack with Happy Channel Network News. Today is January 31st, 2017, and I am here to give you my truth for the day. Sorry, I've been away for 3 days, but a lot going on. Story I want to talk to you tonight. I've been battling with God. I really didn't want to complete or keep covering this story, but he wanted me to cover it and get you the information, so I will get it to you. And congratulations on our new pick for Supreme Court Justice. It is around 9 p.m., so they just announced it an hour ago. I had to wait till that was done because that was like a big deal. Because the reason why I run this channel, what motivates me, is my son, Landon, who was taken through the unjust court system 4 years ago, and that's what allows me to do this channel because I have all this free time on my hands. I want to have my boy, but I don't, so I'm going to make good use of my time, and I actually built this studio in his room. So here I am, Krista Mack here with HCNN. So tonight's topic, I'm going to go ahead and show you the copyright statement to get the legal stuff out of the way. This material is copyrighted, all rights reserved, Happy Channel News Network and Unite All Families, Krista Mack. Any part of this information cannot be duplicated or used without our permission, and we reserve the right to sue you if you do take our information. And we don't have a warranty against its accuracy or suitability for usage or purpose other than that which is intended. So this is our reality. We've done tons of research. We believe 100% that this stuff is true. But like I always tell you, I want you to do your own research and feel in your heart and come to your own conclusions what's true. I can't tell you what's true. You could watch any news channel and it might not be true. I'm going to go ahead and give you an overview. So this isn't really our topic, but I want to give you an overview because I've been in the media so long. I was in for 15 years in the Air Force, and then before that my dad was in, so I took after him because he started being in public relations, and then I followed in his steps. So you can pretty much say I've been in it all my life. And it's all marketing. It's all... They tell you, the media tells you what they think is going to sell and make money and get views. It's all about money. It doesn't matter if it's true, what they should focus on. What they do focus on is what they think that they can tell you to make money. That's all it's about. Nothing else. Except for the real facts, like tonight, the Supreme Court Justice. Obviously, that's real. So when there's something like that, that's like a decision that, you know, is going to be made, I mean, that's real. But a lot of the stuff is just fake, and it's based on what the network wants to tell you based on what's going to make them money and get get viewers, which is how they generate the money, so by commercials and all that. So I'm not going to go much more into that. It gets really complicated. People think that public relations is something that someone could just, oh, I think I'm going to be a reporter. No. I'm still learning. It's one of those things. There's so much to learn, and it's artistic. There's things that I can't even tell you because it's just ingrained in me now. I've been doing it so long, but basically, there's a lot underneath the words that you don't know about that we know how to do. Like, for instance, one thing we do a lot is spinning. Like, I could take one story, and spinning means I could turn it and make it go all these different ways. I could tell you a story one way, and then I could flip it and tell you another way. I mean, that's kind of how reporters work. So that kind of gives you an overview of how reporting works. Sorry, I'm talking too fast. I just have a lot of information. I want to get it all to you in a short amount of time because I know your time's valuable. And I want to thank you for tuning in tonight. We appreciate our viewers, and we hope to continue giving you breaking news. Our beat, which is in journalism, they call our focus, is Hollywood, because I'm an expert at Hollywood. My family migrated there in the 50s. Thanks, Grandma. And they've been there ever since. They're still there. And then I started doing acting. Well, I started as a child, and then I really started getting into it when I got out of the military the first time in 1998. I went and got a degree in theater in Orange County, and then I worked on several things, and that's how I got my SAG card, blah, blah, blah. But I'm not really I pretty much just do modeling commercials because they're kind of out of the Hollywood scene. Never been into Hollywood scene, and now I'm really glad. It's the biggest blessing God has ever given me, was not getting me into that scene, because I'm going to go over why. So first of all, in order for you to understand what all this means, and tonight's topic is about cloning and the ugliness of Hollywood. Hollywood's really ugly. They just want you to think it's all sparkly and pretty, but it's really not. It's really about ugliness and selfishness and killings, clonings. It's all about the people that are pulling the strings. There's just a bunch of puppets. The actors are puppets. And then the people above, the billionaires that run the world that are pulling the strings, they tell them who, they tell them when, they tell them everything to do. They own those people. That's why whenever you see one of the stars like blow up, all of a sudden they disappear because they get in trouble and they don't want to pay them anymore because they're a liability, and they know that that star is going to lose some money. And everything's about money in Hollywood. So it's all a facade. It's not true. And the sad part is they're cloning all these stars now, and that's what I wanted to talk to you about tonight. It's getting to the point where, so many stars are cloned now. There's several, which means that they duplicate them. There's several versions. I don't know if there is an original, or if they just have clones, or if they have the original and clones. That's one thing I won't know, but I can make some good assumptions about the topic tonight, which is Kanye West. And this segment is dedicated to Kanye because I believe they did kill him because he's nowhere to be found. I gave them 24 hours. It's been 72 hours. He has not contacted me. He's not popped up on Twitter, and nowhere to be found. So, and that's what they do in Hollywood. When they don't want you anymore, when you speak your truth and supposedly ruin your reputation, then they just get rid of you. And they usually do that by killing and saying you're dead, or they'll clone you and keep making money off you. It's just a really evil world. So I'm going to start out tonight with Ephesians 6:12. For our struggle is not against flesh and blood, but against the rulers, against the authorities, against the powers of the dark world, and against the spiritual forces of evil in the heavenly realms. And this verse really sums up Hollywood. Hollywood is basically the dark forces of the world. And my mom used to tell me that when she was alive, and I just thought she was religious, and I didn't know what she was talking about because she didn't explain it to me. And even if she did, I probably wouldn't get it. It's really hard to get this. And I got it because God has thrusted me into this world, this job, this news channel, first dealing with politics, and now giving those a voice that don't have one. And the surprising thing is celebrities don't have a voice. They have the least voice of anyone. And I know you may be surprised to hear that, but I can prove it to you because I keep talking about Kanye's speech, but that speech, he told you that they were going to kill him. He told you. Michael Jackson told you that they were going to kill him. These stars know what's going on, and I'm glad they gave us these clues before they did kill him, because it helps me carry on their legacy and make their lives matter, because they did matter. And they, the people that run the celebrities, the puppets, the billionaires, I don't think I'll give specific names right now, but if you look up billionaires that have the most money in the world, those are who I'm talking about, and they're all in it. Where was I? So yeah, they pretty much determine who's a celebrity, and if they don't like them, they just get rid of that person. So Kanye told us, he made this video called Famous, and he pretty much showed you the clones. And they do a good job on most of the clones, but Rihanna pointed out that Chris, whatever his name is, didn't look like him. He was more muscular, but she didn't say anything about her, so I guess it looked like her. That looks a lot like Taylor Swift. That looks a lot like Kanye, but the Kim, no go. So, it's weird that they do good on some and not the others, but it does show him breathing. So Kanye was always into art, and he, I believe that he wanted you to know that these are clones and that they're real. They make them into what people think are real people, which they're not. So I'm going to really focus on the Kardashians because they are kind of, you know, the big money makers of Hollywood. They kind of, you know, started this whole social media thing, making money off image. So I think that they're the easiest one to look at and see how this cloning is all working. And I had just showed you this picture in you know, my last segment, and you can see that the North in the real picture is fake. You look at the real North, and she's much prettier, much prettier. And the thing that really gives it away is the eyebrows. If you compare the two eyebrows, the eyebrows on this girl are way higher than this one, and this just face is all different, much prettier. North was much prettier. This is an insult to North. This is not North. This is just a mannequin or a clone. And so is this. Look at the two faces here. Those two women don't even look like the same person. So they're trying to fool you and put, you know, so basically they could say, well, Kim's in Paris today, and she's not. They just take this mannequin and stick it wherever they want, and then they take a picture, you know, put Kanye, you know, and then say that they're here, but they're not. So the media is lying to you, and, you know, I don't know if any of these people are still alive, to be honest with you, because I haven't seen any real videos of these people since December. I've seen pictures, but pictures, you know, don't matter because they can put old pictures. The last time I believe that Kanye tweeted was on December 22nd. And his meeting with Donald Trump was the 13th. And I know they like the 13th because they're weirdos. So, you know, that's why I didn't want to do this segment, because you know, I'm really upset about all this, and it's not easy for me to talk about this, but I want to get this information to you. So Kim Kardashian, that was one of her clones, but she actually has a lot of clones. And you can look at her Twitter page if you really want to see for yourself. But she, like the girl that went to Dubai recently, that girl like looked nothing like Kim. That girl wasn't even pretty. She just had the same hair and, you know, was thin. And Kim's not even like thin, like she's, you know, thin, but has a silhouette shape. So this girl, like, just, I don't know. I just can't believe that they think we're going to believe that that was her, and it wasn't. Clones are very real. The Hollywood elite have given you a preview, and then there's actually a movie called The Island, which I don't know if I've seen yet, but I'm going to see that, and it actually gives you the whole story of how it all works. And there's cloning camps all around the world run by one of the highest people in the world. I'm not going to give you her name yet, but she's kind of the reigning queen over all this cloning stuff. So when we realize this, yeah, we realize that there's cloning stations, and they've been cloning celebrities right and left. I mean, now, okay, I'll give you the clue. The way you can tell that a celebrity is cloned, either A, by their eyes, that's the telltale giveaway. Whenever you're watching a celebrity or a politician on the news, because they're cloning politicians too, anyone famous that has a lot of money, look at their eyes. You got to look at them for a while because they'll start spinning, and they'll never get the eyes down because the eye is a window to the soul. And when people die, their soul goes, you know, to the next. I mean, I believe in God. I believe it goes to heaven or hell, but it goes, you know, the soul leaves the body. That's what my point is. So they can't duplicate the soul. So it's funny that they try to make us believe in these clones, but you can tell either the clone has like deer in the headlights look, like this one, that looks like the real Kim, but it looks like they just stuck Kanye in that picture, like his clone. Like that, there's no life in those eyes. And you know, if you can recognize that, then you'll know by looking at that picture. That's one way, and then the other way is when they just start freaking out, like Shia LaBeouf recently, how he was freaking out. That was a clone. They just programmed someone to do all that. So when someone's just acting weird or crazy and they're just committed to that, then that's probably a clone. That's probably someone they programmed in their cloning lab to go out and protest and do all this stuff. In fact, I bet a lot of the protesters are just clones. And the thing that gets me the most upset, I mean, I'm upset about the whole cloning situation because it's wrong, but the millions of dollars or billions of dollars they spend on this, I mean, they're just throwing away money just for their own selfishness. They're just, you know, they kill people and clone them and then take that celebrity's money. It's just, it's really disgusting. But I told you the 2 ways that you can tell if it's a clone. And Kanye made his cloning video called Famous. Watch that and you'll see the clones there. And he gives you, yep, I went over that. And they target celebrities because they own them and they want their money. So they kill them, clone them, and then take their money. And like, for instance, when Carrie Fisher died, they killed her mom right after so her mom wouldn't get her money. And same with Whitney Houston. They killed her and they killed her daughter so her daughter wouldn't get her money. I mean, it's really obvious if you really stop and think about it. They think Americans are dumb. Because China bought our company because we went into debt, so China runs our country pretty much, and they they think Americans are dumb. They think they could just do stuff like this and we'll just believe it. So that's why I'm here to educate you. And yep, and then the celebrities obviously can't talk about it, or you know, they threaten them and kill them. I think that's why Kim had her robbery. That was the first threat, and then the second, when they already threatened them, then Kanye still did the big speech. The whole family was wiped out, I believe, because they're nowhere to be found. I mean, you see versions of Kim and no Kanye and no kids. I mean, you might see the back of North's head, but where's the baby? Where, you know, get her on an interview, get her talking, you know, if you want me to believe that she still exists. So it's really sick. It's really sad. There's even more to it that's really even sicker, but I'm not going to go into that. This segment is dedicated to Kanye West to carry on his legacy. He gave his life to tell you this information, and I wanted to pass it on to you. The world leaders, everything's about them. He gave a hint about Gonda, and I looked up Gonda, and then they had this presentation on how, you know, what the future means to them. You know, it's all about them. Like, they're creating this world that they imagine, that they think is going to happen, which it's not, because they have people like me with the power of God, which they can't beat. You know, I'm more powerful than them. And then it just says, you know, basically humans are going to be deleted because they're just in our way. And then here's Rob Gonda. He says they create necessary intelligence. You know, it's all about like robots and clones and computers. Nothing about humans or love or anything. They just want me, me, me. It's like, goes back to the tooting. Me, me, me society. It's just really sad and disgusting. But, and they're even like taking, you know, people's wisdom, like the greats that lived here before Martin Luther King. Look, this is on their website. They're taking his pearls of wisdom. So they're copying like stuff he did and trying to be like him and try to duplicate his words. And they think it's going to translate into meaning, but it's not. They're so stupid because those words went with a soul, and that soul was from God. I've explained this before, but you can't duplicate that. I tell some of those, you know, the big billionaires, I said, you guys are stupid trying to clone people. You can't clone God, you stupid people, you know. So I try to find some humor in this because it's really sick and sad. But that is the truth. And Kanye I looked at some of his tweets. He just had a dream and he wanted to change the world. And it's sad that they get rid of the good people and they kill the evil people. And this Illuminati that I mentioned before, what they do in order for these stars to move up is they have to kill people. And then that moves them up. Because like Kanye was taking a slot in the famous world and getting, you know, this money. And in order for like a, you know, I don't know, a lower star who wasn't as famous to move into Kanye's spot, they have to kill Kanye and then put him in a spot and then they bump him off. So that's kind of how it works. That's kind of the yucky stuff in a nutshell. I don't want to get more into detail to really freak you out, but all this is happening. It's all true. You can get tons of information on YouTube to educate yourselves. You can look at all Kim's pictures and compare them and see how many different Kims there are. Go research for yourself. I'm just feel like I'm a messenger here to give you this information, and it's up to you to make your own decisions. So I really thank you for tuning in today. Again, it's Krista Mack on Happy Channel News Network, HCNN. We just covered cloning 101 in Hollywood, and it's sick, evil, twisted, but it is happening everywhere. Oh my God, some of the broadcasters on news even look at their eyes. I mean, and then their heads start shaking. I know that, before I go, I mean, the most obvious clone was Hillary Clinton. If you go back to some of her, or just Google, like, Hillary and clone, and then you'll see her eyes, like, turning around, and then she fell, and her head would bob. I mean, it was like, eventually these clones kind of flip out, you know, in interviews, because they're not human, they're not perfect, so they're gonna, like, have malfunctions, just like a computer. So, you know, they're doing this now, but the only way we can stop it is for you to stand up for your rights and help in this cause for humanity, to be just kind and loving to the people that you see in life every day, and do your best in your own world, and then together we can make this world a better place and get rid of all this bad stuff when we stand up for the truth and what's right. So thank you so much. Have yourself a wonderful evening.